Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to another Survival Gear Alliance blade review of the new Reate Knives Iron. This is the frame lock flipper version of the knife. You can get it with a thumb stud opening option as well, and no flipper tab if you prefer that. It does come with either carbon fiber inlays, micarta inlays, and you can get the fully dressed version that comes with moku tie accents. And the specs on this knife: the weight is 4.9 ounces, the overall length 8.5 inches, blade length 3.2 inches, and it has a beefy thick blade stock of 0.16 inches. And you can see there that's a pretty beefy blade stock on this knife, but it does come down to a really slicey edge, so it does lend itself wonderfully to slicing tasks. And it has this beautiful spear point blade here with this nice swedge up top for a nice little bit of accent. And the carbon fiber inlays on the scale are impeccable. You feel absolutely almost nothing as far as the joints between the titanium and the carbon fiber. You don't feel it at all. It feels like it's all one piece. And if we're moving on to the back side, you'll see that Reate did not leave this rear scale just plain Jane titanium. They actually put this really nice kind of biomechanical looking milling on the back, and I think that's a pretty epic feature. And if you take a look at the pivot here, we have this really cool looking kind of tri-blade style, milled titanium pivot. And the pocket clip also milled titanium, and it is plenty of springy and gets fairly deep right into the pocket there, so that's really nice. It slides into the pocket easily, comes out easily, has the perfect amount of spring and the perfect amount of depth for my preference personally. And if we take a look inside here, you will see the frame side of the scale is milled out with pockets to reduce weight, and the front side is not, and that is because the milling is on the face where they inlaid the carbon fiber instead. This is riding, of course, on ceramic bearings and ceramic detent, and the action is pretty phenomenal. Not quite drop sheddy, but very close. And I did actually disassemble this knife and clean out the pivot. And the reason that I always do that with most Reate knives is because they use this grease in their pivots, and the grease is actually kind of sticky in my opinion. I'm sure they have their reasons for using that grease, and it's not up for me to, tell Reate how to do things, but I don't prefer the grease personally. So when I get a Reate, I typically will disassemble it and clean it and lube the detent ball and the bearings, in some cases with nano oil. Sometimes I don't lube bearings. It just depends on how the action of the knife is. If it's a really smooth action, it may not need oil on the ceramic bearings, but sometimes it does. And so I just play that by ear on each different knife. Now, I would give the detent about a 6 on the detent scale. Not too hard, not too soft. It's just right. It's very snappy, and it's almost drop sheddy, just smooth as you could imagine. And now I did purchase this knife from my buddy Andy at cranescutlery.com. He is a fantastic Reate knives dealer, so be sure to check out his new website that he put up. It's not this one here. This is his old website. He's got a new one, cranescutlery.com. Now, this is the new style Reate pouch, and they actually added this pretty nifty net pocket in the top of the pouch here where you can store your spare parts, which in this case is some frame screws and the race washers. And then there's the Reate knives cleaning cloth in there as well. And down here in the bottom pocket, this is where the knife comes, and they actually give you like a little, you know, pull tie type of a nylon sack to keep the knife in there if you choose to. They did add Velcro to the back of the pouch for your Reate patch that always comes with a Reate knife, so that was a pretty nice upgrade there to add that Velcro to the pouch and add that extra pocket. I think that's a great upgrade on their pouch setup, so that's pretty cool. This does run about $335, and for the price, I feel like it's a lot of bang for your buck, as you usually get with most Reate knives. For everything you get here, you've got your M390 blade steel, your 6AL4V titanium frame lock flipper, carbon fiber inlays, you know, milling on the scales, custom pivot, and just a beautiful pocket clip. And everything comes together to provide a really nice package for the price. It's a pretty good size for EDC. So I've got some comparisons here I'm going to pull out really quickly. This is a pretty common knife you should recognize. This is the Ferrum Forge Crux, and they are nearly identical in length. So about the same blade length and handle length there. And then the other one that I wanted to pull out for comparison is the Koenig Knives Aureus, and I think this is a great comparison here because the Aureus is quite a bit bigger, probably say about a full inch longer, but the handle shape is very similar to our new Reate Knives iron. So I thought that was an interesting comparison that you guys should take a look at, because this is, you know, going to have the same basic type of ergos that Koenig has on their Aureus, and I really like that. Now Koenig is going to release a mini Aureus in the future one day, and it will be about this size. So that's going to be a pretty interesting release to look forward to from Koenig. And other than that, you guys enjoy your rest of your day and stay safe from the COVID-19 out there, and we'll see you in the next blade review.